Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make this faux shutter card. I actually just posted a faux shutter card, this one, which is, you know, neutral, non-seasonal sort of thing. Thank you. Just nice. And I thought, oh, I could make a holiday version of that. And as this set seems to be my all-time favorite, I thought this is the one that I'm going to use. So it's actually the Stars at Night set, and it's the Stars at Night dies, which I've used, and it also uses the O Holy Night paper. So without further ado, let me show you how I made it. So we need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock, and it's 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2, and then just fold it in half, give the crease a nice sharpness to it. And then what we need is a piece of designer series paper, and like I say, this is O Holy Night, and a piece of basic white, and they're each cut at 5 1/4 by 4. The white is to go on the inside because, of course, if you have a dark cardstock, you need to be able to see what you've written unless you use a white gel pen. So I'm just going to pop that already on the inside. So that's taken care of. And then we'll get on to the rest of the card. So piece of designer series paper, Oh Holy Night. This is absolutely the most fabulous designer series paper. It's in the new holiday mini catalogue, which is coming out on September 6th. If this is all you buy, do it, do it. So the other thing we need is a square. It's 2 by 2, and I cut it with the stylish shape, so it's this one in the middle. So I've already gone ahead and cut that out. And then as a layer, this is 1 3/4. It's just plain basic white, so it just layers onto it. And then we need some little skinny 1/4 inch scraps to make the faux shutterness of it. So what I'm going to do is bring in the Night of Navy ink, and I'm just going to sponge the outside. Now, how I do it is I use this lovely old little 1/4 of a sponge, so it has a flat side. Dab it in the ink, and when you pull it across, it gets just enough ink on the edges to give it a little bit of definition rather than just being plain and white. So you can see it's just got a little bit. It's not a lot at all. You don't want it. I find if I use a regular sponge and dab, it goes too far, but if you use the straight edge and rub it down, that's when you catch it just enough. And then what I needed to do was bring in the dies, the Stars at Night dies, and I just used one of these lovely stars in the sky, Star in the East, We Three Kings and all that lovely stuff. So what I did was I put it on this corner, ran it through my cutting and embossing machine, and this is what I ended up with. So it's just a little bit with the blue being able to shine through. And then what we need to do with this is to stamp it. So the greetings, I wanted a small enough size. I actually took them from Christmas Classics. I took the Happy and the Holidays, and because they're acrylic polymer and they go on an acrylic block, I put them both together on the same block so I can ink those up at the same time and stamp them on. And there you have it. One other thing I'm going to do while I'm stamping and I've got the ink active is on the inside. It just looked big and awfully white, so I'm going to take this stamp. These are actually a little bit smaller than real size, so I'm just going to ink that up with the Night of Navy so everything coordinates, and just stamp it into the corner of the card, so you can put your greeting in there and sign it to your recipient. I just feel that carries the theme through to the other side of the card. So that's all the stamping done. We're now going to do the building of the faux shutter part of it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line it up on my grid paper so I can eyeball where the middle is. Just put it equally between the two sides. I'm going to put some rolling adhesive on the back, or you can use glue, whichever adhesive you prefer. And then I'm going to use this and just bring it down a little and eyeball it so that it's a straight line. You can measure it if you want to. I just use this little line just to eyeball and make sure that it looks more or less like it's going as straight through as I can make it. And then what I want to do is bring in my silicone mat, because I'm going to put sticky on some thin surfaces and I don't want it to get onto my work surface. So we will go ahead and we'll line up just the edge, butt it up against the edge of the square, and just where it comes down and press it along. And then we'll take another piece and we'll butt this up against that along the edge of the square as far as the edge of the designer series paper. And because this is a long one, I'm going to bring my snips in already and cut that piece off, because I can use this other side of it. So just going to put the rolling adhesive on, butt it up against the edge along the edge of the square, and then trim it off. So I'm literally just using the edge of the designer series paper as my guide. And then last but not least, we've got one more piece. I don't know if this will actually reach. I think it might. So let me just square off the edge. I mean, it's not like anybody's short of 1/4 inch pieces of cardstock, but sometimes it's nice to get it all out of one. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. And then we're just going to pop this down here along the edge. And yes, look, it just made it. So we've got all the edges of the shutter built. And now we can just pop this greeting into its little home. Go. And then last but not least, we're going to just pop this onto the front of the card with its white inside. Just make sure it's got a nice even border around. And then because it's a star, and just to give it a sense of bling, I'm going to stick one of these lovely faceted sequins that are new in the holiday mini catalogue. They are Faceted Gems Trio Pack. Trio, of course, because it's 3 colours: silver, just a plain clear, and lovely pool party. So let me just get a silver one of those and pop it into the middle of the star, so it just gives it a little bit of extra bling. And there we are. Fractured card, sometimes it's called. Faux shutter card. It gives the idea of a camera shutter opening. Let me go back and find, this is the one that I had just shown in a Technique Tuesday. Quick and easy, very simple to do. This one's nice because it, you know, it's year round. This one because it uses the most favorite designer series paper in the world. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe. I like likes, I like shares. Shares to me are the biggest honor that you can receive, that someone feels you're worthy of sharing with their friends. If you want to have any questions or you want to make a comment, please put them in the description box below. The directions and the dimensions, as always, will be in the description box below. If you want to do any shopping, please use my website. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your person, so please feel free to reach out and contact me. And last but not least, thanks so much for watching.